everybody, how's it going? If you've never been here before, my name is Trent and I appreciate you coming to the channel to watch. If you have been here before, I appreciate you coming back. The 2021 hunting season is very rapidly approaching all of us, and some of us have even started. So with that in mind, I thought it would be a good time for me to talk about my entire filming setup for the 2021 season. Now essentially I film with three styles of camera. I film with what I consider a main camera, which is what I'm using for this right now. I film with a GoPro or an action style camera, and I film with, or will be filming with, my cell phone. And there's a caveat to the cell phone that I'll get to when I cover the cell phone. I'm gonna start with action cameras. And the reason why is this is really where it seems like most people get their feet wet and get into filming and decide if they really want to do it, or if you're just the type of guy that wants to just film to share with your family and not necessarily have a YouTube channel or anything like that, this is really the way to go. Now, as I said, I use a GoPro. This happens to be the Hero 5 Black. I put it in a plastic vlogging case that you can get on Amazon. By the way, everything I cover in this video will have links in the description. Some of them will be affiliate links, some of them won't. But either way, they'll be there so you can easily obtain them if you want them. Like I said, I use the plastic vlogging style case, and the reason I use that plastic case is so I can put this piece inside the case with the GoPro. And what that piece is it's an adapter that allows me to use external microphones. Now the reason that's important is the GoPro in itself does not have the best sound quality. So you need to do something to bolster that sound quality, and that's where the external mic hookup comes in. This external mic is the Pixel M80. It's something I got off Amazon. They run around $20 or $30. I do plan on upgrading to the Rode Video Pro mic. It seems like it has a little bit better sound quality overall, just from what I've heard in the videos I've listened to and what I've witnessed in person. So it will be an upgrade in the future. I don't know when, how near in the future, but it will be an upgrade. Then I pair all of that with the Photo Pro tripod. Now this is a little tripod that's got flexible legs, and this thing has been very awesome for me as far as durability and quality for the almost 2 years that I've had it now. I used to get the GorillaPod style, but I found that a lot of them broke. They weren't very good. They didn't hold the camera up and things of that nature. So this was my solution, and it's worked great for me. Now the primary uses for this camera are as a vlog style camera like this, because it's a lightweight camera. It's easier to carry when I'm walking into my stand, for example, or when I'm walking out, or when I'm trailing a deer, or things of that nature. It's a little bit easier to carry and manage than the larger camera is, and it still has really good video quality and sound quality because of that external mic. It's also a nice wide lens for only having it at arm's length away. The other thing I use this for is a second angle in the tree. So I put it up, you know, facing at me on a tree limb, things of that nature, or across the way from me in the tree. I actually set it on the ground sometimes if I'm hunting on the ground and angle it up. Just different second angles for when I'm hunting. That's the primary uses for this. Now, if you're just sharing your hunts with your family at home, this could absolutely be mounted to your bow or something like that just to catch the footage. The problem is it doesn't really zoom, and because it doesn't zoom, it's not the best for catching the main focal point, which would be the animal in the case of hunting. Now, what I'm going to do to kind of showcase the different quality of footage is I'm going to switch and talk about my cell phone, but I'm going to switch over to the GoPro filming me. So give me just a second here. You know what? Scratch that. Let's use the magic of YouTube to make an instant switch. Ready? Okay, so now we're going to talk about the cell phone. Now, one thing before we get into the cell phone, now that I'm filming with the GoPro, notice that it's a wider angle of view, and that's kind of what I was talking about when you're talking about filming a main subject further away. Is the wide angle makes it really hard to see well. It makes everything look a lot further off than it actually is. So, now onto the cell phone. I just upgraded cell phones this year for the first time in probably 6 years. It's a Samsung S20 Ultra. And normally I would never film with my cell phone, like ever. But the reason I want to film with this cell phone is it's a 4K, actually up to 8K video, but I'm only going to use 4K capabilities video. And I think it's going to be really good quality for basically what the GoPro does, is another angle, second angle, things like that. It's also going to be good quality for pictures, but we're talking about filming, not necessarily pictures. So I plan to use it as another second angle camera, similar to what I do with the GoPro, except it's not going to be as zoomed out like you're seeing with the GoPro right now. The one caveat to this that I was talking about earlier is that the sound quality isn't the greatest, and I'm not sure how to fix that yet. I want good sound quality like what I'm getting with the GoPro, or increased from the GoPro, but I'm just not sure how to get it with the cell phone yet. So I'm gonna dig into that more. Now to film with the cell phone, I have this right here, and it's just a cell phone, simple cell phone clamp mount. You can get them from Amazon. Again, a link will be in the description. You know, there's nothing special about it. It just allows me to mount this to tripods, to, you know, tree camera arms or anything like that. The cell phone section I'm not even going to really focus on because it's not necessarily something I recommend. It is a resort. If you can't necessarily afford an action camera, you could film with your cell phone with no problems, but it's just not ideal. I've actually filmed some of my YouTube videos using the cell phone, and it's got good video quality, just the sound isn't the greatest. So that's a hurdle I have to overcome. Now, I'm going to switch to filming with the cell phone and talk to you about the quality or what I use as a main camera. And we'll use some more YouTube magic to do that. So let's go. Alrighty, and now we're on my main camera. Now, one thing I want you to notice before we jump into this is the video quality is still very good, but the sound quality is not the greatest. So for my main camera, I'm using a Canon Rebel T5i. I'm using an 135 image stabilized Canon EF lens, and it's got some kind of filter on here. I don't know what filter it is. I bought the lens used, and well, to be honest with you, it's a UV haze. There you go. That doesn't really matter to me. Now, I have a battery extension pack for this camera, but it does make it particularly heavy, so I'll probably skip this and just carry extra batteries. I think I have 5 batteries for this camera overall. Now, this is a 1080p quality camera. It's a good camera. I film all of my YouTube videos using this camera, or at least in part using this camera, and it's done me very well for what it is. Now, this is by no means the best, the brightest, the newest, or anything like that, but it absolutely does work. It's a DSLR too, which this will be my first year filming with a DSLR, and I'm a little nervous because all of the zooming and focusing has to be done with your hands, and the autofocus on it isn't the quickest either. So I'm a little nervous in that aspect, but I don't think I'll have too much of a problem. It's got a flip. This is the big seller for me for the T5i, by the way. It's got a flip open back viewer that you can actually flip around towards you for vlog style, or for when I'm set up doing something like this, I can see the frame of the shot. On top, I have a Takstar SGC 598 external mic, and this is a AA powered mic, so it doesn't draw any power from the camera itself, and I did that on purpose so I can help preserve camera battery. The sound quality in this mic is fantastic for like the $30 price tag. This also shoots really good still images, and it's something I plan to use for a lot of my trophy shots and things of that nature. So that is my entire filming setup. Oh, I guess I should probably talk about some of my accessories, huh? I'll tell you what, we'll talk about accessories like this. The 2 GoPro accessories that, in my opinion, are going to be most important are this guy right here, and what this is a backstrap clamp, or a backstrap. I got deer on the brain. It's a backpack clamp. Clamps on the straps of your backpack so you can put an action cam up there and do what you got to do, or a cell phone or whatever. I'm going to try to use it for a tether on my, or for the tether on my tree saddle. Clamp it on there so it's a interesting second angle view. And then this guy right here. This is a Bluetooth or Wi-Fi, not sure which, wireless remote for the GoPro, which is huge. To not have to turn around and reach up and turn it on, but to just be able to have this on my wrist and click that record or power button and do what I need to do without taking my eye off the deer coming in or doing a bunch of extra movement. It's a big deal. I don't think you can get this particular model, but there are some available on Amazon. I'll link the closest to this model that's also the best priced. Then for tree stand hunting, I have the Out on a Limb Reach. That's what this is called. This little sucker weighs next to nothing and compacts down next to nothing. And this fluid head is actually going to get upgraded to a Manfrotto B-Free. It's smaller, it's a little bit lighter, and it should be able to handle my camera, I'm hoping. But that'll make it even more compact. And that's the biggest reason I bought this thing. This thing is not terribly inexpensive. I think it's $229, but it's so compact and small and weighs nothing. I mean, the entire thing together is right there. That's it. I can fit it in my pocket if I absolutely had to. So, that's what I'm using for my main camera mount out of the tree. On the ground, and the tripod I'm using to film this right now, I have, it's a Vanguard S-Pod. I don't remember the model. I don't think these are made anymore even. I've had this tripod for like 6 years, but again, I'll link a comparable one in the description. All right, I'm gonna switch back to the main camera real quick and we'll finish this up. Alrighty, and we're back to the main camera. So like I said, this is everything I film with. I try to keep it as minimalist as possible while still allowing myself to get the best quality footage. I don't have a cameraman. Very rarely will I ever have somebody filming for me. Maybe on 1 or 2 rare circumstances. Most of the time, I'd be the one filming for others, actually. So I have to do this all self-filmed, and it's easier to just do that when you keep it as minimalist as possible. And that's, like I said, what I'm trying to do while still being able to get really high quality footage. If you have any questions about anything here, about anything else, really about anything, feel free to drop them in the comments. I'm more than happy to answer anything I possibly can. If I can't answer it, I can probably direct you to a YouTuber or a website or something that can answer it. Like I said, I've done tons and tons and tons of research on the entirety of this subject. I think that's everything, you guys. You don't have to listen to me run my mouth anymore. And as always, I so much appreciate you watching. Don't forget to follow me on social medias. Facebook. I'm on Facebook, Instagram. I'm on Twitter, but I never use Twitter. But it's Chest Thumper Outdoors at Facebook and Instagram. Also, Minds.com is something new I'm trying out. It's Chest Thumper Outdoors there also. Again, appreciate you so much for watching, and I will catch you on the next one. Peace.